Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the what's next on Vasyl Lomachenko, the former 3-division world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, following a much harder than expected 12-round decision win over previously undefeated Jermaine Ortiz, as they competed on October 29th on ESPN. And Lomachenko again got all he could have bargained for with Ortiz in a fight where a lot of people felt Ortiz was winning halfway through, and then Loma the last 6 rounds just put his foot on the gas pedal and seemingly stole the second half of the fight. But again, there have been people that said that they thought Ortiz might have won the fight, but be that as it may, Lomachenko walks away with a close, unanimous decision as he stays in the serious mix to be back in world title contention. So it was his first fight in about 10 months, and a little over 10 months. You could argue, and I will argue that he was a little rusty. He got his mind on the Russia-Ukraine situation, and maybe he overlooked Ortiz. Ortiz, he came in a heavy favorite, and that stuff can happen, but even still, he walks away the winner and is pushing forward now. So now the big question is, what's next for Vasyl Lomachenko? Well, we'll run through the top 10, but I think everybody pretty much knows, starting at the top is undefeated champion Devin Haney. And I'd be very surprised if this fight didn't happen next. Haney was signed to a 3-fight deal with ESPN, and he fought George Kambosos in the first 2 fights, and before he moves on, they would absolutely want him to fight, their cash cow of the lightweight division, Vasyl Lomachenko. So, big time fight right here, and it's most likely going to happen in the spring. I really believe that these guys are going to fight. We're probably looking at about April, in that area, April to May, as early as March. But it's a very good matchup, and I think it's very likely to happen next, because it would be for the undisputed title. I believe Lomachenko's still the top contender in 2 of the 4 weight classes that Haney holds belts in. So it just makes sense, and this is the big talk of what's gonna go down, so we'll see. Now, with the rest of the top 10, barring that fight with Haney does not happen, you got George Kambosos in no particular order right here, because the lightweights have been shaken up a little bit. When you look at former unified champ George Kambosos, he's coming off of back-to-back losses to Haney. Unless Haney went and did something else, I'd be surprised if Loma would even consider a fight like this against Kambosos. Not to say that it couldn't happen, but Kambosos coming off of 2 straight losses. Are you going to want Loma? Maybe he would for the money, but he'd come in a heavy underdog. And would Loma want that, coming off of Kambosos losing 2 straight? You never know. Loma might say, well, hey, I'll fight Kambosos to try to knock him out to have a better performance, but it's kind of hard to top what Haney did in his last performance unless Loma were to go blow him out of the water. So, barring an injury to Haney or some unforeseen thing, I doubt Loma and Kambosos would fight next. Gervonta Tank Davis, well, that's the fight that most people want them, but Loma's got to get the belts first. Tank is the regular champ to Loma's belt, or to Haney's belt. If Loma were to beat Haney, then probably second half of next year, him and Tank could potentially meet. But I don't see it happening. Definitely don't see it happening next. Because I just don't think there's the belts at stake, and I'm not sure Mayweather wants to get together with Top Rank just yet to make this fight. Then you got Ryan Garcia has moved on. You got Jojo Diaz coming off the loss to William Zepeda on the same weekend. He's got back-to-back losses now to Haney and Zepeda. Highly doubt he would want that. fight, and I don't think Loma would be interested either. Zaur Abdullayev. Wouldn't be a bad matchup for Loma if he can't get the Haney fight, because Abdullayev's coming off of an upset stoppage win over Jorge Linares. But again, I really think it's going to be Haney. But again, Abdullayev's not a bad option considering he's coming off that big win over Linares. Javier Fortuna moved up to 140 in his last fight and got wasted against Ryan Garcia. Loma would not be interested in this fight. Wouldn't make sense. Jorge Linares. Linares got stopped against Abdullayev, and Lomachenko's already defeated him. So coming off a loss, I don't see it. Then Richard Comey. Loma's already beat Comey. No sense in it. And Comey moved up to 140 anyways. Isaac Cruz. Would love to see the fight, but not likely that Top Rank and the PBC are going to get together for a fight that's not even a mandatory fight. Jeremiah Nakathila. This one, because he's with Top Rank, I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen, just because he's with Top Rank. And so is Loma. I actually thought Loma was going to fight Nakathila instead of Ortiz in his next fight. So wouldn't be surprised, but not likely, because I really think it's going to be Haney. And then Gustavo Lemos. He's the mandatory and the #1 contender in IBF right now. And undefeated, knocked out Lee Selby this year. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. But I don't see it happening. And then you got your outside chances like Shakur Stevenson. I'm not seeing that one next, maybe later in the year. But I really think it's one fight. It's Lomachenko against Devin Haney, unless one of them gets injured and can't compete in the first half of the year. So that's what I believe is going to go down. That's what I think is going to be next for Vasyl Lomachenko. Excuse me, for Vasyl Lomachenko. So that's the what's next for the former 3-division world champ Vasyl Lomachenko. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.